So at this point, I've added a lot of stuff in from the architecture idea. I'm going to go to site now, massing and site. I'm going to add what's called a topo solid, also known as just the property your house is on. I could do this a lot of ways. I'm just going to choose a rectangle and I'm going to draw a square. This is basically the lawn that your house is sitting on. If you want a big grassy area around your house, whatever. Just don't do it too crazy. We will need to render this later. Most houses on the sides will have maybe 5 to 6 feet before the property line, and then a bigger front or backyard. Choose something reasonable for now. Also, if I hit check mark now, it's going to throw up an error about how my floor overlaps because everything's the same height. So I'm going to go back through and select my topo solid, and I'll just push it an inch down, -1 inch. Now, again, there's a lot of other ways you could do this. This is just the easiest way. I'll hit the check mark and I'll hit quit sketch. So now I have pushed my grass down an inch. If I go back to my 3D view, now I've got grass around my house. I can add some other site components. For instance, I should have a lot of trees in here, which don't look like much until we get to the rendering, of course. And then, as always, when you're doing site components or when you're doing any sort of component, you can load a family. So, for instance, if I copied over all of my folders previously, there's a whole section in here on site stuff. There's parking, there's things like logistics, like concrete trucks or porta potties. So you can make sure there's enough room during every stage of construction. I'm going to go to utilities and I'll just choose a utility pole. But there's water connections, gas connections, etc. I'll just go ahead and throw a utility pole, like maybe a 40-foot utility pole out by the side of the house. That's a good reminder of where my power is coming in from. I'll hit escape. Doesn't it look lovely? Now you'll notice it's a little hard to look at the outside of the house and see it because we hit our roof in a previous step. So you'll notice there's a little light bulb down here at the bottom. If I click that, everything that was hidden before is unhidden. I'm going to just highlight everything, doesn't matter. And then I'm going to right click and I'm going to unhide in view elements. And then if I hit the little light bulb again, you'll notice it all looks normal now. Isn't that lovely? At this point, I'd say our house is mostly done. We do need to do some other small details like a railing around this outside here. But you're getting the idea that a lot of things follow the same rules. So, for instance, if I go into railing mode, you'll notice I've got exactly my same drawing tools. And it's probably not going to be a huge leap for you to be like, oh, I can just literally draw the railing. And if I hit check mark, you might get some individual issues like the railing must be a single connected sketch. Okay, I need to add the line across the top, which for some reason didn't draw. And then if I go back to my 3D view, oh look, there's my railing. Isn't that lovely? Again, almost everything works on rules that make sense. So, I just realized I don't have a door that goes out to the second floor. So I just added a door. Make sure that your house looks mostly done and then save. In the next video, we're going to go over how to do renderings of it.